You ever wake up and realize your morning is about to become a legend in the neighborhood? I swear I hadn't even finished my Pop-Tart when I saw the one and only Mid-Beverly Hollis, the HOA's self-declared sheriff, swinging her knee over our 6-foot fence like she was trying out for some geriatric ninja competition. She's got her neon vest clipboard and these ridiculous duct-taped tennis balls on her knees, and the determination in her eyes could burn a hole right through our house. Meanwhile, my grandpa, Hank Barrett, is on the porch rocking away with his coffee, totally unfazed. Third time this week he mumbles, and I can hear that edge in his voice like, here we go again. Now you gotta understand, our family wasn't always at war with the HOA. Heck, before Grandpa moved in, I barely knew what a bylaw was. I was more worried about whether my internet lagged during Fortnite. But after Mom and Dad took that job overseas, Grandpa came to stay. And let's just say Maplewood Lakes got a whole lot less peaceful. First, it was our cherry red mailbox. Beverly said it clashed with the approved color palette. Then, Grandpa's gnome collection became a neighborhood controversy. She called them decorative infestation. Seriously, who hates gnomes? But the real battle started when Grandpa caught her in our yard, measuring his rose bushes. No warning, just full-on trespassing. He called her out, and she said with a straight face, "The HOA gives me boundary override in cases of visual obstruction. I mean, you can't make this stuff up." Grandpa just stared, but I could see the wheels spinning. He wasn't about to let it slide. Fast forward to the next morning. I'm watching out the window as Beverly, now blue from Grandpa's minty sprinkler prank, stumbles out of our yard looking like a Smurf with an attitude problem. He hands her a sign. All trespassers may be watered. Within hours, our neighbor Cam posts the footage to the group chat, and the whole block is laughing about Porch General Barrett. It's all fun and games, until Grandpa leans over dinner and says, "Tomorrow, we electrify the gate." I nearly choke. Is that even legal? He grins, only if you're dumb enough to touch it. I swear the man lives for chaos. Next thing I know, the garage looks like NASA meets Home Depot. Grandpa's got blueprints taped to the wall, voltage meters everywhere, and he's stress testing the setup with a watermelon. Don't ask. That night he sets up the porch like it's D-Day. 2 lawn chairs, a bag of tacos, and his old Army night vision goggles. We sit there, not saying much, just waiting. You know that feeling when the world goes quiet, and you know something's about to pop. Yeah, that's where we were, around 2 a.m. There she is, Beverly dressed in black clipboard on her back, like a sword tiptoeing through the hydrangeas. She grabs the top of the gate, hits the wire, and zap. Her shoe goes flying. She yelps and lands in the mulch like a dropped puppet. Grandpa doesn't even crack a smile, just sips his coffee as she limps away, swearing revenge on us and the entire Barrett bloodline. The next morning, the video is everywhere. Slow-mo edit, circus music, you name it. Even my friend Jaden's grandma has seen it, but Beverly's not laughing. By noon, there's a letter taped to our door, urgent violation threats of $500 fines, and a summons to the emergency HOA meeting. The clubhouse is packed. Beverly's got a neck brace, and Richard Manning, the HOA president, is up there, voice booming about community standards and reckless endangerment. Grandpa listens totally calm, then stands up and says, "You want safety? Try respecting people's boundaries instead of climbing their fences. There's a moment of silence. Then someone snickers, and the whole room just cracks. But the HOA isn't done. They launch a surveillance drone over our yard. Grandpa just laughs and starts building Winston his own drone disguised as a lawn gnome. It's got a blinding LED and plays old marching tunes. First time it takes off, it chases Beverly's drone right into the Andersons' bird bath, and that video goes viral again. Suddenly, the neighborhood splits. Half the folks start putting gnomes in their yards, and Beverly responds by issuing fines for excessive lawn figures. It's gnome mania. Here's the twist, as Ms. Patel, who always kept out of the drama, puts a gnome by her mailbox. Next day, 3 more neighbors join in. Suddenly, it's not just our fight. It's the whole block pushing back against HOA overreach. Grandpa just watches from the porch, but I can tell he's proud. Richard shows up with a folder full of citations and tries to ban Grandpa from his own porch emergency bylaw, he claims. Grandpa stares him down and says, "You can't ban someone from their own porch, not unless you wanted to start paying my mortgage." The crowd loves it. Then comes the cinematic moment neighbors, one by one, bring their gnomes to our yard. Even Cam, the neighborhood prankster, rolls up with a gnome in a wheelchair holding a sign that says, "Justice for Winston." Someone hands Richard a petition to remove him. He sputters, but nobody's listening anymore. Beverly slinks back home, and just like that, the HOA gets a makeover. New committee, new rules, no more drone patrols, no more gnome bans. Grandpa puts a medal made out of foil on Winston and calls him defender of the free yard. After all that, life quiets down. The porch is peaceful, Grandpa's humming, and Winston sits on his pedestal like the hero he is. But you know, sometimes I catch a glimpse of someone on the corner, clipboard in hand, looking just a little too interested in our fence. Grandpa always says, "You gotta stand up for your weird, or someone else will fence it in for you." And I get it now. So what do you think, was Grandpa right to fight back? Where's the line between rules and just plain nonsense? Ever had your own neighborhood showdown? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your stories, because out here, it turns out sometimes you gotta get a little weird to keep your freedom.